Rovers are back. I am back. That's right. Rovers entertain Sheffield United this weekend at Ewood Park. Can a win actually make us realistic contenders for the playoffs, or will we suffer yet another shocking defeat at the hands of one of the bigger boys? We'll get into that and much more next. So first back once again in our preview video today, we are taking a look at Rovers taking on Sheffield United, coming at you at Ewood Park, and we'll get to that in a second. If you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe button. You want to stop shop for Blackburn Rovers Championship football, world football. We're going to all hear under one Rooski. That's right. We're looking forward to this one, or are we? This could be an absolute shocker, or can we actually raise up it once again on our own fortress that is Ewood Park? We'll get into all of that in a minute. Big shout out to the VIPs. You know who you are. The Patreons. That's right. Also, big shout out to the members. You know who you are. That's right. Cheeky little buggers. I appreciate the support on the channel. And if you want to help out those guys out there, take a little look at the descriptions down below for links to support the channel in another way. But without further ado, let's get into this one, because it could be an absolute cracker. Alrighty then, here we go. It is Rovers, it is Sheffield United, and it's coming at you this coming Saturday. Early kickoff, yeah, I don't know what to expect from this game, but the recent records looks pretty grim for Rovers. We played 16 times against Sheffield United, losing 8, winning 5, and there's been 3 draws between the two sides. Our form is not the greatest, just 1 win in 5 in all competitions and all venues. Up against the Blades, of course, coming into it's just 2 defeats over the last 6. They're on 58% form. Their biggest win, though, was just a 3-0 win. We put 5 past them on one occasion when you roll back the years. 18 goals scored compared to their 22. We're averaging 1.13 goals against Sheffield United compared to the 1.38 goals a game when they've come against us. Let's take a look, though, at those recent games. And the most recent 6 at all venues looks like this. Just 2 wins for Rovers, 4 wins for Sheffield United, no draws. Now, that's both here and at Bramall Lane. Take a look back at the last match that was at the in the FA Cup back in March 2023. We all know what went on that one. We were 2-0, 2-1 up, going to Wembley. It looked like we were going to break the curse, but then it all fell to shit. And then, of course, we went out of the Cup. Last time played in the league, though, at this very venue. It was a 1-0 win for Blackburn, so hopefully we can get a bit of that. But yes, look back at some of those familiar scorers there for Rovers anyway. The likes of Sam Gallagher now gone, Pavida gone, Brereton gone, Kadra gone, Sam Smollich gone, Big Bad Boy Brereton gone. So, yeah, hopefully we'll get some new heroes to turn it back. If you look back at the last 6, though, at Ewood Park, it's a bit more in our favour. 4 wins for Rovers, just 1 win for Sheffield United, and there's been 1 draw. That one and only win was back in October 2018 for Sheffield United with a Billy Sharp double. But then you do see some more old school names with the likes of Henning Berg, Damien Duff, Morten Gamps Pedersen, etc., etc. But not been the, we've got a good track record at Ewood Park, but I think we're playing them at a pretty bad time of the season. If you take a look at the last 10 then, of course, in all competitions at all venues, it does look more favourable for Sheffield United. They've won at least, 6 of the last 8. Yeah, traditionally it was a bit more even Stevens, but right now it seems to be going in favour of Sheffield United. But anyway, let's take a little look then at, of course, the 2 clubs under the spotlight. But actually, I'll actually showcase you a bit of history. If you want to go back even further, I keep forgetting about this slide, 84 matches. Rovers just have the edge, 32 wins compared to the 30 of Sheffield United, and there's been 22 draws, and we do have more goals against them. That's how far I've got to roll it back that far to make it look a little bit more blue and white. But anyway, let's take a look at the clubs then under the microscope. Our value is around about €50 million compared to the €89 million for Sheffield United. They're averaging around about £3.5 million per player. That's the values of their players compared to our 1.93. They have a younger squad to us. We have more national team players. We have more foreigners than they do when you look at the squad as a whole. Let's take a look, though, at the coaches then. John Eustace, 44, is meant to be one of the Chris Wilders of the future. British managers hoping to work his way through the ranks. And he's doing all right with Rovers at the moment. 1.49 points per match ratio compared to that of a 1.57 points per match ratio of a Chris Wilder. But Wilder's record against Rovers is pretty stellar. He's got 2.25 points per match compared when he's faced Rovers, basically winning 3 of them and losing just the 1 match in his 4 games against us. And his record against Eustace is perfect. 1 win out of 1. As for Eustace, 0.5 points per match against Sheffield United, just losing once and drawing once. once. So, yeah, take that from what you will. Let's take a look at the squad then. Now, this is mainly aimed at the Sheffield United folks who may be watching this by chance. We have 4 goalkeepers on the books, with Pairs currently number 1. Blasef Toff brought in. But right now, can't get in. Cannot get in because Pairs has been doing all right. Bar the last game, it was back-to-back clean sheets against West Brom and Swansea City. It might even be 3 clean sheets on the spin. I've got to. We'll look at the form back in a minute. Meanwhile, of course, the defensive ranks have been shaken by the loss of Hayden Carter, who'll be out until 2025. So Danny Bath, Carl McFadden's got to be on his tippy toes because we've also lost Scotty Wharton for long term as well. So concerning. Yes, indeed. Let's take a look at the midfield options then. Tronstad, Travis will be in there. Maybe Lewis Baker gets a start. What do we do about Joe Rankin Costello? So lots of question marks, lots of conundrums. And again, who do we start up top? Ohashi, McTagay, or do we go a bit of wild and go Harry Leonard, who's been rocketing in the goals for the under-21s or the academies recently? So maybe he's on the verge of a shock start this weekend. I don't see it myself because this is my lineup. I've gone pairs between the sticks. Beck, left back, Dom Hyam, Danny Bath, and Callum Britton. Trav Meister, Tronstad in midfield as expected. Then I go Campbell, Dolan, and Hedges for me, with Yuki Hashi up top. Again, we do have some options. We could play Wyman, we could play McTagay, we could play Sigurdsson, Buckley, of course. So a few options to come off the bench. But yeah, this is a tricky old game, guys. A tricky old game, and playing them at a real crucial part of the season. We're hanging on in the playoffs as of right now, and a win here would give us the belief. It would give me the belief, and hopefully give you guys the belief that we are actually playoff contenders. We draw this, yeah, it's probably the beginning of the end. We lose this, then realistically we know what's coming. We know what's coming. Anyway, let's take a look at our opposition then, shall we? And of course, it is Sheffield United. New goalkeeper this season, Michael Cooper, formerly of Plymouth. Has he been starting? Yes, he has been starting. Then they go. If you look at this team, it is quite a trendy, not trendy. What am I looking for? A fancy looking side. They've got Gilchrist on loan from Chelsea. We were linked with him, but didn't have no chance once the big boys came in. And now Amadovic, of course, from Bosnia. We were linked somehow with him with the JDT era, but never came of it. And he is an incredible player and should not be playing at this level. It's illegal. It's a cheat mode. They've got Harry Suter alongside him, another cheat mode defender. Definitely top end of this division. Lower end Premier League player, you would say. Harrison Burrows, one of the guys for the future as well. And then you got Reece Norrington Davis there. We got Jamie Shackleton. So it's Sam McCallum. All quality players that could play. Not too sure what they are fitness-wise. As for the midfield, it's a very young squad. With Oliver Airblaster in their mixer there. They've got they did pick up some good loanees, or not loanees, I want to say free transfers, in the likes of Callum O'Hare coming in. Of course, Gustav Hamo remains in the squad in their relegation from the Premier League. And they've got Jason Rakasaki, of course, another player we link with constantly. And he's expected to start. Also up top, the likes of Tyrese Campbell, Kiefer Moore. These guys will score goals. And of course, that's why they are above us in the table. This is my lineup. We've got Michael Cooper between six. When I say mine, it's actually the last game they played. Cooper, Burrows, Amadovic, Suter, Gilchrist there, Callum O'Hare, Airblaster, Souza, Jensen Rakisaki, Tyrese Campbell, and Kiefer Moore. No Gustavo Hamer. Not too sure what's going on with that. I will have a Rovers Rivals video very, very soon. Of course, which will hope to answer some of those questions because I don't know where he is, what's the deal with him, that kind of stuff. But anyway, let's take a look then at the key players, when I say key, I mean most valuable. We've got Tyrese Dolan, of course, a big old question mark remains. Will he give us an early Christmas present and sign a fucking contract because we are running out of time? Then Ainul Amadovic, of course, from Sheffield United, who's valued around about cool 18 million. All right, then let's take a look at the stats then between these two clubs. Of course, Rovers coming at you with a 6.88 on average compared to Sheffield United 6.99. Of course, over the course of the 12 matches, we've scored 16 goals, conceded 12. That's where things are starting to creep in there, averaging 1.3 goals a game. Up against Sheffield United, they've played the same amount of games, scored 14 goals and conceded just 6. Airtight at the back with, of course, those big names, Suter and Enrinovic, Gilchrist, Burrows at the back. What else are we looking at here? We hit the Woodward just twice. They've hit the Woodward 4 times. As we look at the passes, 47% pass ball possession for Rovers. Accurate passes 79.6 compared to the 49.6 of Sheffield United. 83.1 accuracy with the passing for Sheffield United. They've got 8 clean sheets to our 5. conceding just 0.5 goals on average a game compared to our 1 goal a game. Pretty grim stuff. We've had 2 red cards. They've had 0, and pretty much all their stats are much better than ours. So that goes to show what we're up against this coming weekend, of course. But let's take a look at let's dig deeper into those stats. And particularly, let's look at the goals then, shall we, of course, and the attacking avenues here. Starting with Rovers, we prefer to come down the wings, it looks like, both the left and the right when in possession. And when we are in possession, we mostly keep it in midfield with defence the second best at 30% of our possession. As for Sheffield United, they prefer the right to the left. And again, pretty even Stevens about both an attack and defence. But more often than not, they can be found in the middle of the park there as they try to create some more goals. Let's take a look then at the shots. Rovers preferring to shoot from the right and the left. And of course, 32%, that's a third of every of all their shots come from outside the box. As for Sheffield United, they prefer the right to the left as well, quite handsomely as well. Big chunk of change there. So keep an eye on that right-hand side, which Ainsley pairs. And again, just 10% of their shots. So 1 in 10 of their shots are in the 6-yard area, of course. As for receiving shots, again, more prone to receiving shots from the left-hand side. So maybe mix it up a little bit. Well, I'm actually talking about Sheffield United coming at us. So the opposition for Rovers coming down the left-hand side more often than not. And again, they usually shoot from within the 18-yard box 55% of the time. As for Sheffield United, pretty evenly split, both 20% either side and 63% within the 18-yard box. The goals, though, for Rovers, 10 of them through open play, 3 set pieces and 3 counter-attacks. As for Sheffield United, their goals are more evenly split, 6 through open play, 3 set pieces and 3 counter-attacks with 2 OGs. Goals conceded, Rovers conceded them through open play, 3 set pieces and 1 penalty. As for Sheffield United, they conceded 3 through open play, 2 set pieces and 1 counter-attack. Like I said, airtight at the back. So pretty good stats for Sheffield United. They will probably come in as favoured on this one. But let's take a look at the form then coming into this one, because I wasn't too sure about our record. We did lose to Watford. I was not at that game, I'll tell you that now. And I was not at the West Brom game either. I was at the Swansea game, so take that. Yeah, but your people who are thinking I'm the curse. But anyway, it's not great. It's just 1 win in 5 according to this. But at Ewood, it's not too shabby. Back-to-back clean sheets. And we'll look at the home form compared to their away form in a minute. As for Sheffield United, they come into this on the back of a 2-0 win over Stoke. That was at home. Their last couple of away games, though, we'll get some heavy hitters. Losing to Borough, losing to Leeds United. In fact, back-to-back games without a goal against the bigger boys as well. So we'll see. At home, they're clinical. On the road, they're a little toothless. I say that very quietly. They're toothless on the road. But can we get there about? I don't know. Here it is under the microscope. 1, 2, 3, 4 clean sheets on the bounce for Rovers at Ewood Park. I don't know how long that will continue. As you can see, 3, 2, 1. It's going down in the amount of goals, so we could do with some goals, please. As for Sheffield United, 1, 2, 3 games without a goal on the road. They did pick up a 2-0 win over Hull. But besides that, they lost to Barnsley as well. So it's for the last 5 games on the road, they haven't scored a goal. So we'll see what comes out on this one. Is it early kickoff? I don't know if that works in our favour or not. What's coming on after this one? A busy week up ahead. We have got Stoke coming at you on the midweek. Pete will be in the hot seat, I think, for that one. And then I'll be back for the early game against Cardiff, of course. I would say these are imperative we get some points here, guys. And then we come back and take on Portsmouth again. We should hopefully get something out of this game. Borough will be tricky, then Leeds will be tricky as we enter into the back end of the month of November. As for Sheffield United, take on Bristol City this midweek. Then it's of course, Sheffield Derby on the 10th of November. After the international break, they got Coventry, Oxford United, and then Sunderland in quite an interesting run of games there for Sheffield United. So, what can we expect from this game? Well, I'm going to tell you right here, right now. It does look pretty grim for Rovers, I think, because Sheffield United are one of those guys going about their business quite quietly and sneakily in the playoffs without much fanfare. But Rovers, they do go into this with some strengths, our counter-attacks, scoring chances, creating long-shot opportunities, aerial duels, and protecting the lead. They do like to steal the ball from the opposition. But our weaknesses are avoiding offside and defending against skillful players, which Sheffield United do have those. We are aggressive, we play in our own half, and we do like opponents to play aggressively against us. The strengths, though, of our visitors, they have got shooting from free kicks, long shot opportunities, creating chances through individual skill, counter-attacks, protecting the lead, stealing the ball from the opposition, aerial duels, and defending set pieces. Their weaknesses, though, are finishing scoring chances. Their style of play, a lot of shots down the right, and they do mix up their first 11. Forecast says United, that's the visitors, will score as a result of individual skill. Grr. That's not what we want. And take a look at the table then. As you see it, it is just 3 points between ourselves and Sheffield United to win. We can actually leapfrog above them with a bit of goal swing if that was to come about. A win will probably keep us in the playoffs. Yeah, it's looking slippity. And as you see, from like 6th all the way down to like 13th, it is quite tight. So we need a win, and we need one fast. Meanwhile, around this is the form right now, as we see it. The blue is that of Sheffield United. Started off slow and slightly grinding up the results here. Rovers starting off high, and we're slowly, as you see it, trickling down with a recent bump back into the top 6 here. So it's not been stellar for Rovers recently, but hopefully we can get something out of this game. Let's take a look at the weekend ahead. Luton Town will kick us all off on Friday up against West Brom. Two sides both desperate for results. West Brom hanging on in there as well in the playoffs, but winless in a good bunch of games. As for Stoke, they take on Derby. Oxford take on Swansea. And Rovers take on Sheffield United in the early games. I'll be here with the watch along, so hopefully you'll join me. Leeds United will take on Plymouth in the late game there. Hull City taking on Pompey. QPR against Sunderland. Preston against Bristol City. Cardiff against Norwich. Sheffield Wednesday against Watford. Borough against Coventry. And then on Sunday, it's the Zian Fleming derby as Millwall take on Burnley. That is right. What about the top goal scorers? Well, one guy's running away with it right now, and his name is Borja Sainz, coming out of Norwich. 10 goals thus far. Josh Major up there with 7. Haji Wright's now chipping in with some 5 goals, but they are still struggling down the foot. Karambe, Brownhill, Watmore, Isidore, Mundell, Puro, and Conway. So in that mixer, I don't see any Sheffield United boys as of yet. As for the assist man, Sargent is the main man there with 5, with fellows alongside him, Doyle, Notto, and Joseph up there. And now here it comes, the moment you've all been waiting for. What do I expect will happen in this game? Well, I don't know. I think it's going to be a tight old game. I'm hopeful that we can get something out of it. But it's going to be, it's tight. It really is tight. Sheffield United a bit toothless on the road. I say that with, the games have been tough. They've been against Borough and Leeds on the road. This is different. This is definitely a winnable game for Sheffield United. If we come here half-assed, half-cocked. As for Rovers, we've failed really to find the back of the net really in a good bunch of games, and we've been a little bit limpish of late, and we need something fast. We need a pick-me-up fast. However, this game will not be it. This will not be it, unfortunately. I'm going to go with a boring. I'm sitting on the fence here with a 0-0 draw. We've been airtight at the back. They've been a little bit toothless up top. We've been a little bit shitty putting the ball in the back of the net. Will this be a bad result at the end of the day? No. I think it'll keep the confidence going, especially at Ewood Park, because keeping that home form and the momentum going at home, especially with Stoke coming after you on Wednesday, will be good. And hopefully we can get a win. Or at least 4-point haul of the next 2 games at Ewood Park before we take on Cardiff, which could be a winnable game the weekend. So, yes, sit on the fence with a 0-0 draw. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm right. Hopefully we'll get a winner. But we'll be there, of course, kickoff. But until then, subscribe, smash the like, catch you later. But until then, guys and girls, we are done.